start. So who can tell us about what we did last Monday? Who can just brief us quickly before we go into our next phase of lesson today? You can just raise your hand and I'm gonna call you. So who can tell us? So who can tell us quickly, please? If not, if you are not raising your hand, I'm gonna be calling somebody. So Amarachi, thank you.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Okay, so last Monday we learned about getting to know someone, asking questions, the formal and informal way, and also responding to those questions. Basically, getting to discuss just the basic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amarachi. Who else can help us out? If not, I'm gonna be calling names. Who else can help us out? Faith Ari, can you bail us out? Faith Harry, what did we talk about on Monday?
Guten Tag. I was not able to stay to the end of the class, so I do not really follow.
Okay, so which one did you hear?
Before the class even started, I had an.
Okay. Stick around and maybe you can get one or two things from that, what we talked about on Monday, okay?
Network issue, and I was not let back into the class.
Okay, so stick around. You will definitely hear more today, okay?
Hello, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Okay. Like Faith said,
who is speaking? Who is speaking?
This Prosper Kawike.
Okay, Prosper, go ahead.
Yes, like Faith said, I think that was issue some of us that are working are having, because most time we'll be in traffic, we won't even get so many things, the noise, and even some time network keeps skipping. Honestly, those Monday lectures, I wish, and I'm pleading, if it's something maybe after Monday, we have a revisit, or we have like a podcast where we can go back, and for those of us that are unable due to traffic or whatever, I'm just like suggesting, please, I'll be happy, so that I will flow along, not me, because I really missed out working days like Monday.
Oh, okay. So I'm really, really sorry that you had to miss out on Monday, but you have to just try and endeavor to log in. But that is why I usually would do preview as well of what we did on Monday, on Saturday, so that we can catch up. And I will also be telling you the different topics of what we talked about. And then please, you can just endeavor to go back and study by yourself, because I cannot guarantee you about even video recording. We might not record any of the classes. So I encourage you to please, when we talk about it again on Saturday, please go back and study it so that you will catch up with us. Please, I would encourage you to please take this class very serious, because I know that most of you are coming to Germany and I look forward to really, really seeing you guys here. But please, let's take this class very serious. Okay, thank you. So Namani, tell us, what did you learn on Monday? Ifeanyi, your hand is raised. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, sorry. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
We discussed about, okay, first of all, we revisited assignments given to us last time, so about numbers. So after that, I think we continue from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 to 10,000, which we were given a format of introduction, how to introduce yourself. My name, Lance, Vonne, Sprashen, Beruf, and hobby, and so on and so forth. I think that was where we stopped last time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
So, who else is raising their hand? Ifan, you can mute yourself now. Who else is raising their hand to speak to us? So I'm gonna call one last person. Okwe Olajide. What did we talk about? Okwe, you can unmute yourself to speak. Okay, Okwe, I don't know what you're doing. Report yourself here. So I'm gonna call Justice Judge Will. Brief us on what we talked about.
Okay, guten Tag, Frau Mabel.
Danke, guten Tag.
Okay, on Monday we talked about how to write the years. For example, your year and date of birth. We also looked at the homework that was given, the assignment.
Okay.
And then how to introduce yourself, the name, the land, the occupation, your hobbies, where you live, the age, expression, the beruf.
Okay.
We also looked at Yemanden Kenelimen, that is meeting someone. Okay, the formal ways on how to address someone and the informal ways.
Okay.
And then eventually we look at marking. And that's where we stopped. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Justice.
Thank you.
So, Power Ebosele, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Yeah, we talked about the vote talent as a topic for last class. Then we talked about how you introduce, like how you say your family name. Like my family name is my familiar name is Ebosele. Then we talked about when you are, for example, we use a template for self-introduction like name, land, where you live, the language you speak, the work you do, your hobby, and we also talk about the age. And you say, well, for example, you are asked, what do you do, like the beruf, you can say, it's the student, that's for the male. Then for the female, you can say, it's the student, that identifies you as a female student. We also talk about it's been Lera and it's been Lerare. Then when you ask what do you speak, like your language, your Sprachen, you can say it's Prahe, English, Hausa, and Yoruba. That's when you speak more than one or two languages. Then you now use the Zin, that's the Zin, which is the plural, the formal form for A, which is it's Prahe, English, and Dutch. Okay. So then for hobby, you can say, when you ask your hobby, you can say each my hobby is Zanzen and dancing. That this is more than one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So we are going to move very quickly. We are going to talk about how we can respond to these greetings. Remember that we did name, your age, how you can ask, land, and stuff like that. But we are not talking about feeling. So, like you tell me now, Guten Tag, and I said, Wie geht's dir? Like I'm trying to ask you, we are going into conversation starter, how we can, hit off a conversation. So how do we respond to this greetings, or how do we respond? How are you? How is everything with you? Then how would you say, oh, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling nice, or I'm a little bit sad, or I'm cranky, or I'm sick, So we are going to be talking about how you can respond. You say to me, Good morning, and I respond, Good morning back. And then how do we continue from there? How do we hit off this conversation? How do I get to, now that you've introduced yourself to me, okay, I come from Ghana, or I come from Liberia, and then after our introduction, we both introduce ourselves. Are we going to be looking at each other? Or how do we continue, like saying, how are you? How is everything with you? Mind you, I told you that the introduction that you did, it progresses with time, okay? So that means that I can simply ask you about your favorite food, your favorite car, your favorite color, just the way you will start a conversation. Okay, so we're going to hit it off from there first and foremost, and then we will now go to the days of the week. All right, guys, we will go to days of the week. So, and I hope that we will not be having that bad challenge we're having the last time. And we're just gonna start now. So some of the things that we were not able to cover properly on Monday, because it's not like we're not able to cover it, but I felt that I needed to pour out more on that topic before we can move to our next class, so that some of the questions that you will be asking, do you have children? Are you married? These questions are very, very important. So we're just going to quickly dash into some of those questions again, so that we'll have our conversation properly. So we have been asking, how are you, and everything. So I'm gonna open my board, and I hope that my board would not make us miss a bit today. So if you can see my board, just let me know, guys, okay? Just let me know. Don't worry, I'm going to zoom in properly for us today, so we won't have that challenge like we did the last time. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to do that for us. Don't zoom in, just leave your board. I'm going to adjust it on my end. You don't have to do anything on your own end, okay? You guys don't zoom in. Oh, besides, we didn't say good morning to Chike. Chike, good morning to you. I hope you had an amazing week.
Morning, yes, I did.
Thank you very much. We apologize for not saying hello to you. Sorry. We know you are doing an amazing job for us. Thank you very much. So, guys, please don't zoom in on your board. Let me join the zooming in so that we can move quickly today. And just a very quick announcement before I move further. Now, the next class, which is on Saturday, we are going to be having that class on Thursday. And the reason why we're going to be having that class on a Thursday is because I'm going to be in transit. So I'm going to get to where I'm going on a Friday. So I might be a bit jet lag. No, I'm traveling on a Friday. So I might be a bit jet lag on Saturday. So that means that I might not be able to quickly adjust. So you will have to pardon me that we have that class on a Thursday. Now, guys, tell me which one is beneficiary to us. Do we have that class on in the evening or no? Okay, because we are working. What time do you guys think we should have it in the evening? Is it 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock? Please, you can just raise your hand if you want to choose 6 o'clock. So if you think 6 o'clock is fine, let me see your hand. So if you think 6 o'clock is fine, let me see your hand. Okay, we only have like about 5, 6.
I can create a poll.
Okay, please go ahead, create a poll for us. Thank you.
6 p.m. and what other time?
7 o'clock.
7 p.m. All right, so. Can everyone see the poll? Can every single person see the poll? I mean, just go to the poll and vote, like which time you think is better, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.
I voted.
Can you see it? Is it visible to everybody?
Yes, I've seen it and I voted.
All right, nice. I think this is the easiest way so that everyone can have their say.
Yeah, it's better. It's better. I've voted.
Okay, cool. So guys, we'll just wrap up in the next couple of minutes. Just choose which time you think is better, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So that the teacher can, decide. I think we'll proceed. Okay.
Mm.
Can you see the poll, Mabel?
Yes, I can. I'm just waiting a bit.
Okay.
Okay, so majority chose 7 p.m. and 42% chose 6 p.m. So we're gonna have to go with 7 p.m. Okay, guys. So then 7 p.m. it is for us, right? So then let's move on to our class. So stop. We are going to say, how are you? How do we say, how are you in German? How do we say, how are you in German? Okay, so
Wie geht es dir?
Wie geht es dir? So that is informal way, right? Or is that formal way? Because remember, we are going to be dealing with both informal and informal way. So
Informal way, sorry.
Informal way, because I told you that once you use dear for anybody, once you start using the word dear, then that means that dear signify that that person is, you're familiar with that person. But once you start using the word Z, you will know that, okay, that person might be a stranger, or that person, you are not yet used to that person. So don't forget that Sie and dir is a very, very important one you have to consider. Now, the dir, I told you that maybe your friends, your family, your families, and your loved ones, or somebody you know. But once you start using the word Sie, it means that it's some stranger, or in official situations, So please, please, please always bear this in mind. It's very, very important. So just what that person said, the person told us right now, I said, "Wie geht's dir?" That means he said, "Wie geht's dir?" The person said, "Wie geht's dir?" which means, how are you? It means, how are you? So then you should be able to now conjugate. I also told you that always bear in mind that when you are using words, right? When you are using verbs, when you're using your verbs, remember I told you last week that it's always in a conjugated form, okay? Always in a very conjugated form. So who else cannot see the board? Who else is saying I can't see the board? Chike, can you see the board? Because I think we need to start confirming from you.
Is it possible to use the tickets line? Is that possible?
I'm trying to improve that.
Because the visibility.
I'm trying to do that. I don't know what's up with my board all the time now. But okay, so I think it's okay this way. So, wie geht's dir? Then I told you that that verb is always in a very conjugated form. So the verb that is conjugated here is gehen. Okay? Gehen. The verb is always in a very conjugated form. Now, somebody said, wie geht es dir? So can someone also conjugate this in a formal situation? What's up now? Why is everybody quiet today?
Is it wie geht's es Ihnen?
Wie geht es Ihnen? So, always remember that. Now, there was one thing I didn't tell us last week, which I would like to tell us today. You know, you will say, when we were introducing ourselves, we were saying, okay, I have 1 child, 2 child, 3 child, and we didn't talk about how you are going to ask the person, do you have a child? Are you married? Or what is your, okay, we talked about what is your hobby, right? So, but how do you ask a person, do you have a child? Haben Sie Kinder? Haben Sie Kinder? Now, or this Kinder means children. Kinder means children. But if you want to ask if the person has just one child, but most times we do not ask haben Sie Kind. You can just say haben Sie Kinder, and then the person will respond ich habe eine. Okay, so most times, just like in Nigeria tradition, they don't used to count children for the person. So you can ask the person haben Sie Kinder? Then this is, do you have children? Do you have children? You know, in Nigeria, we don't used to count children for the owner. Then, or hast du Kinder? The verb is in a conjugated manner. Okay, hast du Kinder. Remember, I told us that this verb all the time is always in a conjugated form, haben. So we are talking about haben. So when you want to conjugate it to dir now, you will have to say hast. We are going to go into this conjugation very soon. So you don't say to that your loved ones, or maybe your sister, haben Sie Kinder? It's going to look very, very unwonderful. So you have to conjugate that form, haben, to hast du Kinder. You see, then you will see that you've personalized it to do instead of sie. So when you also want to ask the person, are you married? You know, you can ask the person, sind Sie verheiratet? So, sind Sie verheiratet? Sind Sie verheiratet? Verheiratet? And then the person can say, yes, ich bin verheiratet. But if you want to conjugate this to a very informal situation, you don't conjugate it also to sind du heiratet? That is not, it's not flowing. Okay, it's not flowing. So always remember that every verb come in a conjugated manner. Okay, the verb that I conjugated here to bist du instead of sind, this verb is called seid. Okay, and I want us to get used to, because every word in German, every verb is always conjugated. In a situation where we have sie, wir, hier, they might remain the same, wir might remain the same, but every verb, bear in mind, comes with a conjugated form. So if I tell you that we have this verb called haben, you don't now say to me, haben, okay? This verb now, you have to conjugate it when you are speaking. It is very, very important that you conjugate the verb. So, like, for example, if I want to conjugate this verb, if I am talking about me, I will say habe. Okay? Habe. That's how I'm going to use it, because I told us that ich habe. So I told us about this ish is talking about you. Then when you now use do, you conjugate it to hast. You conjugate the verb to hast, okay, with S here. Then when you are moving on to EZS, hat. So all verbs come in their conjugated form. Tomilola, why are you raising your hand?
That's a mistake, ma. Sorry.
Okay. So let's move ahead quickly. So you've introduced yourself. My name is so. I come from so. I am 17 years old. Meine Lieblings hobbies sind Buch lesen, tanzen oder singen, then you can now go ahead and say, ich bin verheiratet, that means I am married. Ich habe 10 Kinder, that means I have 10 children. Then you can now go to meine Lieblings. My favorite food is amala and ewedu, or white soup and pounded yam, or white rice and stew, or bread and stew. You know, as time goes on, as you are feeling very comfortable with the language, you can gravitate into saying more details about yourself. So you don't only stay with your age, with your name, with where you come from and what you do. So you can always graduate towards building more sentences. Okay? So we are going to move on quickly from that. If anybody has a question, please let me know. So I said today we are going to be talking about how you're going to have that conversation starter. How you're going to have that conversation starter, like wie geht's dir, wie geht's Ihnen, you know, how are you doing? So let's move quickly. We started asking wie geht's dir, or you can say wie geht's. So remember, you're talking to somebody that you're familiar with. Wie geht's. So you ask the person, wie geht's, how are you? So that means, how are you? Or you want to ask the person, wie geht's dir? Now you want to complete it. You know, you can always style the way you talk about it. You can ask the person, wie geht's? That means you don't even want to, you are so lazy to finish the word. So you decide to only shorten it. But if you want to go ahead and say, wie geht's dir? Then you can now say, wie geht's dir? You want to finish the sentence, and then the person will now respond to you. So, wie geht's es Ihnen? So you're asking in a very formal way. This wie geht's es Ihnen is a very formal way. Wie geht's dir is informal way. Informal way or informal situation, and this one is formal situation. This one is informal. So then you will now, let's look at your positive answers. How do you say, oh, I am fine, or I am wonderful, or I am excellent? We are going to, as we go more into our class, we are going to be looking at more feelings about yourself, how you're feeling, okay? You can now say, once that person asks you, how are you? Then you can now say to the person, mir geht's super. Mir geht super. You know that our super is the super also of English. How are you? Oh, I am doing super. I don't know how you can put it. Or you can say, mir geht's sehr gut. These are positive. Remember, I said these are positive answers. Okay? So, mir geht's super, or mir geht's sehr gut, danke. Mir geht sehr gut. Then you can always put danke in front of it. You know, you want to speak very humble and very polite. So don't always forget, you know, when we did our class of thank you, you know, bitte schön. Don't always forget to use those words. Those words can melt the heart. So if I ask maybe Amarachi and say, wie geht's dir? Amarachi can now respond to me, mir geht's sehr gut, or mir geht's wonderful. So wonderful is wonderful is wunderbar. So wonderful is called wunderbar. Wunderbar. So I am doing wonderful. Or maybe you want to say, I'm doing awesome. So you want to say, I'm doing awesome. Okay? I'm doing awesome. Then awesome in German means toll. Mir geht's sehr toll. I am very awesome. You know? Or you want to say, I am doing great. So great means prima. You know, you want to tell the person, yeah, ich bin prima. I am doing great. Or maybe you want to tell the person, I am fantastic, for example. You want to tell the person, I am doing fantastic. You know, these words goes on and on and on, okay? Look for the expression that you want, and then you cannot tell the person, I am doing very fantastic, but their own is fantastic, okay? Their own is fantastic. Why our own is like fantastic? You also want to, maybe you want to tell them, oh, I am doing excellent. You know, their own excellent for them means ausgezeichnet. Ausgezeichnet. So you want to tell the person, oh, I am doing excellent today. Now I can ask John and say, wie geht's dir? Or wie geht's Ihnen? And John wants to respond to me and say, oh, ich bin prima. Oder ich bin fantastisch. Oder ich bin super. Oder ich bin wunderbar. These are responses that you can give in response that someone asks you. Or maybe let's now go to our negative answers. I mean, it's not like negative, okay? It's just that the answers are not maybe the way you're feeling, okay? They are not like super negative, don't get me wrong, but they are not like good. They are not like negative. So let's go to negative answers, for example. So negative answers, you can now start saying, oh, I'm sick, ich bin krank. You can say, ich bin krank, like I am sick. This krank means to be sick or sick, you know. So that's why I said it's not like it's very, very bad, but you know. Or you want to say, mir geht's sehr nicht so gut, or es geht. As in, you will say, it's not like it's not good, but you know, I'm just there, you know. You ask somebody in Nigerian language and say, how far now? They'll say, oh no, I'm just there, you know. It's not negative, it's not positive. Or they can just say, we there, or you know, when you say to somebody, we there, it's just like es geht. Okay, it's just the way it is. Or you can say to the person, mir geht schlecht. You know, you want to tell the person, I'm doing bad, or, you know, maybe something happened, and then you say, schlecht here means mir geht es schlecht. Okay? Mir geht. So, give me a minute. Mir geht es schlecht. Like, schlecht here means bad, you know, something that is bad. I am not doing well, you know. You can say, I am not doing well. Or you just want to say, oh, I am not doing good. You can say, mir geht es nicht so gut. That means I am not doing good. Okay? Mir geht es nicht good. Like, I am not doing good, you know. Or you want to express now the word sehr. This word called sehr. Sehr means very, very. So it depends on how you want to use it. You can tell the person, mir geht sehr gut. That means I am doing very good. Then you can tell the person, mir geht sehr nicht so gut. That means I am not doing good. So it just depends on how you can put the word both in positive response or in a negative form. And once you start using the word nicht, once you start using this word called nicht, it means that, okay, something is wrong. Nicht. Because it means not. It means not, as in nothing. So once you start using this word, remember you are saying, I'm not doing okay. Or when you're tired, for example, ich bin müde. Ich bin müde. Maybe you just finish your work and you're very, very tired and you just feel like, okay, I just want to go to bed, or, you know, I just want to take a shower and sleep off. Then this müde means to be tired. Okay? This müde means to be tired. Müde. Okay? Means I am tired, like super tired. I don't want to even talk safe. I just want to go to bed. Okay? So it depends on how you can put it. And always remember that if you are putting this word, remember in formal situation, yes, I'm going to be going back to that, our formal thing, formal situation or informal situation. So if you're asking somebody, wie geht es Ihnen? The person can say, oh, ich bin müde. That means I am tired. And then you might not want to ask the person, und dir? Is either you use und dir or und ihnen or und dir. Don't forget that. Und dir or und ihnen. So I ask maybe Cecilia and say, oh, wie geht's dir? And Cecilia reply me and say, mir geht wunderbar. And then she wants to ask me, how are you? But, you know, we are still strangers. She can now say to me, und Ihnen? And then I can now respond, mir geht's nicht so gut. Or she can now ask me if I'm a friend, und dir? And then I can now tell her, oh, ich bin fantastisch. So these are like your conversation starter. It is very, very important. After your introduction, then you want to dive into conversation proper, how they are feeling, what they are doing. Don't forget, as you graduate towards knowing more about this language, you can now start asking the person more questions. Okay, now that you've asked me, how am I doing? You can ask me, okay, what am I doing presently? Was machst du? Or schläfst du? Or was willst du heute machen? So as you graduate in this process of learning, you'll be learning how to ask more questions and getting more answers. So I will move away from there quickly. Does anybody have a question now concerning what I just spoke about? If you have a question, let me know. You can just raise your hand and let's answer that question very quickly. So if I go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. My question is, if you want to ask somebody how is work, how will
you can ask the person, wie geht's deine Arbeit? Oder wie war's Arbeit? So these are questions like I said, as you move on, you will graduate. How is work? Or arbeitest du jetzt und was machst du? You're asking the person, are you working now and what are you doing? Or you can ask the person, wie war deine Arbeit? How was work? So in our next class, I'm going to be telling you about some of the questions that you can ask when it comes to was, welche, was willst du, the W questions, okay? There's something we call W questions, and these are like some of the things that you can throw into conversations. So we are going to be going to lesson 5 today. Does anyone else have a question? Does anyone else has a question? You can ask your question now. Assess Larry, please go ahead.
Yeah, guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Yeah, I want to ask what of when they say alles klar or alles in Ordnung? Alles klar?
Alles.
Or alles in Ordnung? So can one use that one as a response when you say maybe the gate, say, or when they say, because sometimes I hear people say alles klar.
Okay.
They will reply with alles klar.
Alles in Ordnung means how is everything, or is everything okay with you? And when they start asking you alles klar, then it means that, do you understand it? Okay, alles klar means, do you understand it? And then you can now say yeah or yes, you know. So I don't meet you now and just say, hey, wie geht's dir? Alles klar? That's grammatically wrong. You can say, wie geht's dir? Alles in Ordnung? Is everything okay with you? So when you are asking somebody, alles klar, it means that, do you understand? Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's move on quickly. If nobody else has a question, just to be sure that somebody is following along with this class, I'm going to have to call someone to do a proper introduction of themselves, and I'm going to be asking them these questions and these answers that we just talked about. So let me see who I can call. Taiwo Babalola, please introduce yourself to the class. So Taiwo Babalola, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi. So my name is Taiwo Babalola. I stay here in Berlin, Germany.
You have to. Okay. You have to introduce yourself to us in German, please.
Can I be pardoned for today?
Okay, so Babalola, you have an assignment to do, and the assignment we're giving you is go and learn to introduce yourself to us in German, because we did that class, so maybe you were not around. So please go and learn how to introduce yourself to us in German, because we'll call you again. Okay?
Okay.
So
All right.
you're
No problem.
pardoned for today.
Thank you.
Chinonso Obasi, please introduce yourself to the class. Chinonso, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
I'm saying, ich,
So, okay, so for us not to have this situation of you saying, go back and check the template I gave you guys to introduce yourself. What was the template? What was the template I gave you guys to introduce yourself? Don't forget I said Name, land. So now use that template to introduce yourself. Use that template to introduce yourself to us.
Really, where I am now, I don't have the template around me. I had it in my book, but it's not with me around.
Okay, so I'm going to put your. It's fine. So
the
you
next class, I
and
must answer it.
Of course you have to answer it. So I'm going to put your name down, Chinonso Obasi. So you are introducing yourself to us next class. And Babalola also, you're going to be introducing yourself to us. So two of you go back to your notes and check on how to introduce yourself. I'm going to call, you're welcome. I'm going to call one more person before we move on. Daniel Uni, please introduce yourself to the class. Daniel, please go ahead, unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Ich Name Daniel Uni. Ich bin Studentin Universität Kassel. Ich lebe Stubenstraße, Witzenhausen, Deutschland.
Nokma. Nokma means go again. Repeat that sentence.
Ich lebe.
Was meinst du bleibst? Was ist bleibst? What is that word you're trying to use?
I live in Stubenstraße.
Okay, we use the template. That means you're trying to talk about the Wohnort. Ich wohne. So I gave you a template. Ich wohne. Okay? Not ich bleibe. When you mean bleiben. Bleiben means to stay, but not to stay in a particular city. I mean to stay in a spot. Okay? So you cannot use ich wohnen. So you cannot use I'm staying in a spot, or I'm staying in Port Harcourt, in Rumukurushi Junction. You know, if I'm asking you a conversation on phone, maybe where are you? You can tell me, ich bin bei Rumukurushi. Okay, but you cannot say I am staying at one spot. So Wohnort is wohnen. Ich wohne Beispiel in Berlin, or ich wohne Beispiel in Ikeja. Okay? So go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us more about you.
Ich wohne Beispiel in Stubenstraße, Witzenhausen, Deutschland. Ich bin Student. And the template again, the next one, if I can.
What is your favorite thing to do? What is your favorite thing to do?
Okay. Ich liebe Fußball und
nochmal?
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say with football?
I like football and swimming.
Okay. So Daniel, you, Chinonso, and Babalola, please go back to your notes and you do a proper introduction of yourself next Monday before we start the class. Okay? So that's the assignment I'm giving the three of you. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. So guys, before because our time is well spent, I'm just going to leave this time for questions so that I don't go into the next topic and everybody's like we are trying to rush. But what we are doing on Monday, I'm going to tell you is the months and days of the week. So that's what we're going to be doing on Monday. So Uchenna or any other person that has a question, please raise your hand and let's see how we can answer you. Uchenna, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, little dark, middle. I want to ask instead of can we use can we use Ich liebe as well as Ich wohne also to describe where we live?
Ich liebe?
Yeah.
When you say Ich liebe, it means I love.
Liebe,
When
like
liebe. When you say Ich liebe, okay, just like I would tell you Ich liebe dich, I love you. Liebe means to love.
Okay.
But Ich wohne means I live.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
So who else want to ask me a question? Larry Aziz, let's hear from you.
Sorry, I was even about to have the same question. What he was trying to say is Leben, like Leben, not Lieben. Like ich lebe.
Spell what you're trying to. Ich lebe.
Lebe, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Leben.
Yeah.
Okay, and Liebe.
No, I know Liebe is to love, but Leben means to live, maybe to live somewhere. So it's like wohnen. So that's what I want to clarify. Maybe
yes, it's the same
we can
thing.
say Leben. Yes, that's it. Because that's the question you wanted to even ask.
Okay, that's the question you wanted to ask.
Yes.
I think that's it. I did not pronounce it well.
Yeah. So, okay, remember that I told you that every verb come in a conjugated form. Okay, you're trying to say ich lebe. Okay, you're trying in a very conjugated form to say I am living in Ikeja, for example. Ich liebe. So there is no N. You're conjugating it to yourself. Du liebst, then over time you're just conjugating. Remember I told you every verb come in a conjugated form. Guys, remember it is very, very important. So if you're using the word leben, then you have to conjugate it to Liebe. Oh, my pen, come on, baby. Okay, so this is a conjugated form. Let me write it here. Lebe. You are conjugating it to yourself. Then when you want to use do, you can now use this one, liebst. Okay, that's the difference. So who else has a question? Because our time is fast spent. Uchenna, you've asked your question. Or why is your hand still raised?
Sorry.
Okay, so just one more question, and I will want Blessing Igwe to answer me. Blessing Igwe, please pronounce 800,000 for us. Blessing Igwe. Please pronounce 800,000 for us.
Okay, but actually, I was not in the last class, so
Okay, please go and do your assignment. review numbers, okay? Go and do some assignment on numbers. Ifeanyi, you have
Okay, ma,
something to
thank
say.
you.
You're welcome. Ifeanyi, you wanted to ask a question.
Yes, my question is, can I say ich bin verheiratet und is it hat or hab?
Conjugate it to yourself. You want to say ich bin verheiratet und
Hat zwei Kinder or hat zwei Kinder.
When you use hat for yourself, you are using the SZS. But when you conjugate it to yourself, you know you're using the word haben. You are going to conjugate it to yourself. That means ich bin verheiratet und habe ich zwei Kinder.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so this is the end of our class, but just before we go, please, I'd like to tell everybody there's not going to be any recording sent to anybody. So there's not going to be any class recorded for you to receive. Now, if you want to go back and play back this class that we just talked about, or any of our classes, I think maybe 2 classes were not live streamed. Now you can go to our communities, Nigerians in Germany, across all social platforms, and sit down and watch it again. There will not, I repeat, there will not be any recorded class sent to any individual anymore. So go to Nigerians in Germany and look at their previous activities. These videos are being live streamed there. Okay, I love you guys very, very much, and I wish you an amazing weekend. Please don't stress yourself too much, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday again. Chike, I love you. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you very much.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ciao.
Tschüss.
Tschüss. Tschüss. Dankeschön.
Dankeschön.
Tschüss.
Tschüssi. Tschüss.
Okay, sure.